morning, babies. Good morning. 1, 2, 3 babies. Good morning, sheepies. Good morning. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Delilah. Good morning. So if you guys are going to be coming to Breakfast Club, we need to go through a couple of rules, okay? Now, the first rule is there's no standing on your breakfast. Nova, did you hear me? There's no standing on your breakfast because that just makes it awkward for everybody else. Okay, good. So now that we got that rule down, the next rule is there's no fighting. Okay, and if you're going to sneeze, can you please cover your mouth? Okay, so we got no standing, cover your mouth if you sneeze, and oh, also there's no fighting at Breakfast Club. Okay, you guys can follow those rules? Okay, we covered the sneezing. Charlotte, you got to cover your mouth if you're going to sneeze. Okay, because you're sneezing all over the breakfast. Yeah, and then other people are not going to want to eat the breakfast because some of you are standing in it and some of you are sneezing in it, and oh, great, you're putting your paws in it. So I don't think I'm going to have breakfast with you guys this morning. Okay? There's just no fighting because, well, that's just not what Breakfast Club is all about. Okay? So no standing in your breakfast, no sneezing on your food, and no fighting. Yeah. Okay, you guys are really listening to me, aren't you? Okay. I think I'm going to kick you out of Breakfast Club then. Well, this is the second shell-less egg in 2 days that we've had, which tells me that we have a problem with the calcium. We need to increase the calcium for the chickens because, well, it could be that. But this one has a tiny bit of an outer shell, but not really. It's just really soft. And so I'm going to add some oyster shells to the feed so that we can increase that, hopefully, calcium, and the eggs can get harder and a harder outer shell. Now that's what I just did there was not a smart thing to do. You don't want to feed an egg back to a chicken in that format, because then they'll know that the shells, inside the shells, there's some yummy stuff. So what I should have done is cracked it and not showed them the shell, because you don't want them knowing how yummy it is inside. It's totally okay to feed eggs to chickens, but you don't want them to know how yummy they are because you don't want them eating their own eggs. Okay, sweetie, it's dark, almost dark, and I need to move you because look at those eggs. Hey, but you still want to sit on them? Okay, made you a nice clean bed right over here. Okay, right there. So I'm going to move you and your eggs. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So the other day I was mentioning that we feed our chickens commercial poultry feed, and that's what this is here. So it's available right at the store, and it comes in different amounts of protein, so you can get a 16%, a 17, 18, 19, and up from there. And this is also a commercial poultry feed, but it's called a crumble, so it's just smaller, and that's what the younger chicks and the baby chicks will eat. And then we also talked about increasing the protein, or calcium maybe it was. And these are oyster shells, and they're actually oyster shells. So the oysters that you eat, they ground up the shells, and you can mix this in with some of this feed, and the chickens will eat it, and that will help increase the amount of calcium that they get, and it will hopefully help make their eggshells stronger. So we've seen that we have a problem in a couple of our coops with the eggshells not being strong enough. So today we're going to be adding some of these oyster shells to the big bucket of feed, to all those coops, and see if we can't fix that problem with the weak eggshells. Well, we got most of the junk out of there, and actually there was some pretty good feeders and waterers in there. And now we just have to start, well, the rest, which is pretty much, well, everything. And we don't have a lot of time. Okay, I'm going to mark the eggs with big X's before I move you, so I know which eggs are yours. Well, that's a lot of eggs. I'll come back with a Sharpie tomorrow. I'll mark them again. We'll count them and see how many you got under there. Because I think you could probably sit on about 13, but I think anything more. You got some pretty eggs. Oh, that one's nice and warm. That one's a good one here. Any more on this side? You got some hiding under that wing? Okay. I'm going to give them right back to you, okay? You just need to mark them. Oh, you got more. Oh my goodness. Is that everything? Oh, you still got another one there. And one more. Oh, that one's got a hole in it, so I can't sit on that one. Oh, and there's still... Okay, so let's count these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I'm going to give you all 15. I'm going to move you now, okay? All right. Okay, I need to give you some eggs. There you go. You make yourself a nest in there. Oh, look at that. That's great. Okay, here they come. Here come your eggs. Nope, here they come. There they are. Nope. There are lots of people out there today looking for chickens, and many of them don't know what to look for. So we're going to just go through some of the basic things to look for when you're looking for a chicken to try to help you make good choices in selecting a healthy bird. Now remember, you can't see what's going on the inside of the bird. All you can do is try to guess their health based on the outside appearance. And there's lots of clues to help figure that out. So the first thing you're going to look at, we'll start at the top. We're going to look at his comb and his wattles. Now this guy's a young bird. He's only about 6 months old, and he's going to be enormous. So he's still growing. But he should have a nice red comb and wattle, which he does. If it was light or kind of crusty and dry, that might be a sign of poor health. The next, you're going to look at his eyes. And the eyes should be clear and bright with nothing, like no discharge or anything coming out. And his eyes are perfect. Then we're going to move down to his beak. And at the top of the beak, we have 2 little holes. And sometimes when a chicken is not well, there could be some, like a runny nose or some discharge. And that would be a sign of maybe poor health. Now, for him, it's all dry and everything looks good. So now we're going to work our way to the feather area. Now, remember, he's a young bird, so his feathers are still brand new, and his feathers are in beautiful shape. They look brand new. Now, this is why it's important to know the age of a bird, because every year a bird does something called molting. And what that means is they shed their old feathers and they grow new feathers. And right before they shed their old feathers, they kind of do get a bit ratty looking. So just because a bird's feathers are kind of split and ratty looking does not necessarily mean they're in poor health. It can be an indication, but it's not always the case. So it's a good idea to try to know what the age of the bird is. So we're going to work our way to the back end, and we talked before about the fact that birds have parasites, internal parasites sometimes and external parasites. So we're going to look for some of those parasites who like to hang out near his vent or the bum area. And all you do is lift up his feathers, and you can blow the feathers aside, and you'll very quickly see if there's anything crawling. And there's nothing crawling, so that's a good sign. And the other area you want to look for parasites is in his neck area here, and he has beautiful feathers here. And again, you're looking for something moving. It's kind of gross, but that's what you're looking for. And I don't see anything. It looks good. So now we're going to work our way down to his legs, and he doesn't like being picked up too much. So now chickens have scales on their legs, and you want the scales to be flat and smooth. And his are nice and flat and smooth. And if they were raised or anything like that, that might be a sign of scaly leg mites, and that might be something to be concerned about. But his look just fine. So we've done kind of a once over. We've looked at everything we could look at on the bird. He looks very healthy. Got beautiful feathers, good coloring, clear eyes, no discharge, nice legs. And I think we're gonna keep him. So remember, we can't see what's going on inside the bird, but his appearance on the outside is a good indication that he's probably in good health, but it's not always the case. But it's the best we can do, and those are the things that you should look for if you're looking for a chicken. Good job, buddy. You did great. All right, well, good morning. You were not very happy when I moved you last night. How are you today? How do you like your new digs? You like your new basket? You got all those eggs underneath you? Okay, I think you're gonna be okay. I think you're gonna like this. Now you can sit on your eggs all by yourself with nobody bugging you, okay? I'll leave the gate open during the day, and at night I'll close it up, okay? Does that work for you? Is that gonna work for you? You're a good girl. Well, here we are. We're past the halfway mark, and we're at day 11. And today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're actually gonna candle all the rest of the eggs that are in the incubator to make sure they're all developing. So the ones that are developing will go back in, and the ones that are not will stay out. So here we go. Wow, so you can see how much space that the chick is taking up in the egg now. You can still see in it, but it's sure getting big. Now both of those look like they're developing. Now the one on the left looks a bit odd. It almost looks like it stopped developing. It's not as full as it should be. It doesn't have any of the veining or anything. Now sometimes that happens and they just stop. So that one's not going to go back in. There's another one that's not developing. And there is one that is developing. See the difference? How much fuller that one is? Oh, and this one's moving. This guy's doing his nighttime aerobics. Well, I'm going to continue cattling the rest of the eggs, but come back tomorrow for day 12 and we'll see how much bigger the eggs are getting.